Hello everyone and welcome to another tournament commentary. Haven't done one of those in a long time since, well, I've been really busy with real life and other projects. And yep, I have two more that I still need to upload. Haven't had a chance to do that. I believe it's two. And I have one more where I think I'm gonna upload it, but I have to basically re-comment it all over again because, well, I gave up on commentating it halfway through because it was a really weird thing, and then I decided that maybe I should commentate it anyways. But we'll see what happens. Depends how much time I have, how lazy I feel. I've also leveled up my guy to level 1, which gives me the 1 bonus HP, which is pretty much the only useful thing he can do with his skills, since all his leveling up gives him just improves his last skill, which never sees any play. I've got a couple of the 3-1 packs. This is a couple of days after 3-1 came out, and the only cards I'm playing in my black deck currently are the Darkness Within and Greedy Evil. Basically, Greedy Evil straight up replaced my 2 contacts with the Devil, since it does the same thing. Effectively, it turns a creature into card advantage. In this case, it's a 4/4 mana, except rather than spending 2 cards to draw 1 extra card, I'm spending basically 2 cards to put a really powerful creature into play. And overall, I've been pretty happy with them. Definitely an improvement over the other one. I mean, they're still dead if you don't have any other creatures you want to sacrifice, but at least they're not as dead as Contract with the Devil. As for the Burial Shards, they're kind of straight up upgrades over the regular shards, so I don't see a reason not to run them, kind of thing. And here I think I'll mana zone and just play this guy in attack zone. Passing the turn. So now basically this is gonna either force him to play something in defense zone or somehow kill my Gravekeeper, or I'm gonna get to kill the Devotee for free, and that's worth taking the 1 point of damage. Yep. So that's actually gonna work out pretty well. I'm gonna kill the Shifter guy, and then I'm gonna have a blocker on top of that. I take 1 point of damage. Hopefully I get another 3-drop. I might just mulligan if I don't. Yeah, because I don't want a mana zone. Well, actually, no, I don't want a mana zone. Yep, this is so much better. So I attack. I'm obviously gonna be attacking the Devotee of Seer. Also, kind of an interesting point I'd like to make is that after I did the deck talk, the last one that I did about the green survival deck, I've noticed a lot more Nagas seeing play by opponents. I don't know if people are just realizing they're really good, or if they're just listen to my thing. I mean, not that many people actually listen to it, but I still like to think it had some influence, even though it probably didn't, if we're being realistic. Another little thing that's happening is I'm starting to work on a new green deck. It's still in very early stages. I might just start a series where I'm not really gonna commentate the early games with it, but I'm just gonna record every game I play with it and any kind of changes that it sees. Okay, so he's gonna get to, maybe if he wants to kill this Gravekeeper, by trading those two guys in, or he's gonna get an extra point of damage. He still needs to play a blocker or something, and next turn this guy's not gonna be getting in for a while, basically. So I don't see the point of that. It's just setting him up for a 2-for-1. That's fine. Even if he kills basically my attack zone Gravekeeper, next turn I'm dropping a Necromancer, and this guy's not gonna be able to attack anymore since I have a Gravekeeper in play. Yep. So he's down to 1 HP. And so I do have the Necromancy Rotten Hound combo all lined up to play in a turn or two. But for now I'm just gonna play Necromancer. Basically, now he has to keep protecting his Devotee of Seer, or I'm gonna get a 2-for-1 out of it. And while the token did help him kill my Gravekeeper, he still had to use an extra card to do it and take 1 point of damage on his Devotee. And that's fine. So this turn I'm gonna play my Necromancer and Hound. And again, obviously I'm attacking my Devotee of Seer, was attacking the Devotee of Seer. If he wants to block, he is welcome to do it. The one problem might be that Party of the Dead is not going to have as much value as I would like against elves, because they tend to only play skill immune guys, basically. And pass the turn. And again, he is in the same position, except this time he can't attack with his guy to get the token. If he attacks, I'm gonna kill that guy if he wants to get the Hound, basically. And if he does that, I'm just gonna play a second head. That's fine. So he still needs to deal 1 point of damage. I'm still gonna block the Devotee and kill it. And he plays the Naga. I can also use my hero skill if I really care, but I don't. Okay. So I'm gonna play the Shard Zone. The thing about the Naga is that it's nice when it puts something in blocker, except the first time I wanted something in blocker and I ended up killing it for free, and Necromancer in defense, that's the one strength of Necromancer, is that he's really good in defense. So again, he's not getting full value out of the shifter. And actually, I'm just gonna drop this guy. Basically now if he wants to, he has to waste a pump if he wants to somehow kill the Gravekeeper. And he has a 5-3 to deal with. Next turn I'm definitely blocking. And so this way I get to keep my Gravekeeper. He can deal 1 damage to something if he so desires, or pump it up and deal 2 damage. But he's still gonna be wasting a card to pump it if he does so. it also means that Seed of Sienna is basically never gonna get pumped high enough to actually matter. Yep. And he had to waste his Forest Spirit to finish off the Gravekeeper, which is at this point a 1-1. It did more than enough. So we're an equal cards in hand. I have a massive board advantage. My hand is relatively stacked. I'm gonna start looking for opportunities. That's fine. So he's probably gonna kill the Lord of Darkness. The thing is, if he does so, yep, I still have a massive advantage because he only has 2 mana left to actually do anything with. Which means that I'm gonna be the one who is gonna play a powerful drop first. Yep, so he spent his whole turn clearing the board. They were all 1-for-1 trades. So he's down to 4 cards in hand and an empty board, and I'm gonna be the first one to actually place cards on the board. Dragon of Omen is not gonna be as amazing since most of the time they just put 1 Echo into their hand, and with their hero, and this guy kind of does it. It's still effectively a 1 card advantage. Okay, I think at this point I will Mana Zone and just drop a lot of stuff into play. Since I have a card advantage, so now it's time to translate it into a big board presence. And I'm gonna pass the turn. Getting this guy out this turn means that next turn I can... Okay, so yeah, he's gonna use his hero skill, that's fine. He gets an extra shard in hand. But yeah, next turn, that means I'm gonna flip my Hound and either flip my Pale Blue Moon or the Party of the Dead. Put it as spy. Interesting card. And pass the turn. So he didn't get value since I didn't have any traps. That was nice. At this point I'm just gonna Shard Zone. And I'm going to pass the turn. Basically, between dual casting and my hero, I can kill off the Lapurita Spy for value, or I can attack it with Doomhound if I so desire. And this turn I can either Party of the Dead or Pale Blue Moon and the Empress, or Pale Blue Moon and my hero. That's slightly unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Okay, good. This guy gets placed in attack zone. Okay. And pass the turn. Okay. So I'm gonna attack like this. Yep, he's gonna block like that. And I'm gonna reduce this guy's AP. And I'm gonna attack again. So this was a good turn for him. But I was ahead enough to where it doesn't make too much of a difference. And I'm gonna reduce this guy's AP again. I'm gonna play my vampire. I'm going to attack this guy. Gain a couple of points of life. And now I'm gonna use my hero skill so I can play my Dragon of Omen for value, basically. So I'm gonna attack this guy and trade off my hero and Skullhound, which is actually fine because he forces you to discard a hand, so it's effectively a 2 for 2. And again, we're in the same position we were a couple of turns ago. I'm massively ahead on the board, and we're dead even in hand. We both have turrets, neither of us have hero skills to use. And we'll see where it goes from here. The nice thing about green is also that they require basically critical mass a lot more than black does, so there's more chance of them having dead cards like a global pump spell or stuff in their hand. He does have a couple of mulligans on me, but my hand is really good at this point, so I'm not too worried about that. Okay, so hopefully I lose my Pale Blue Moon, and hopefully I don't lose my second head. It's a reasonable exchange. Obviously I would rather have done my Pale Blue Moon, but at least I didn't lose my best guy. Okay. So I'm just gonna kill this thing, constrain his mana a bit. He's low on cards, so it's probably not gonna matter, but I don't want him getting to a point where he can play a couple of like 4 drops or something in one turn. And at this point, I think swarming is the better strategy. I already have a 3-power guy in play. So basically I want to save my Dragon of Omen until he's all out of answers and drop it as a finisher. He still has 2 cards and a mulligan, so I don't want to play it early, even though green doesn't have that many ways to actually use it for value. But we'll see what happens. I'm definitely not using the Empress since he doesn't have any answers and no point in giving them to him. And even though I can use the extra mana, my hand is pretty stacked for the amount of cards I have. I don't think his 3 cards are better than my 2 cards. And I'm gonna start swinging for 9 points of damage. Even if he's leaving up something like Party of the Dead, he's gonna be at such low HP that if he plays it, every single one of my guys is gonna become lethal. And I'm gonna play the Dragon of Omen now, since I plan to kill him next turn. And I don't want to play the Lord of Darkness because it's gonna reduce the AP of all my guys, which is slightly counterproductive. So he's down to 3 HP, he left 8 mana up, so that means either his hand is absolutely useless, in which case he would probably have mulliganed, or he has a burst spell to play, which, if it's green, none of them are really high impact, or enough to get him out of this trouble, and if it's not green, then he is losing 1 HP, and making all my guys lethal. So we're gonna find out what his plan is. And looks like he just doesn't have anything. Yep, last ditch attempt to mulligan, but the thing is, it makes all these guys lethal, so even though he has 5 cards, he only has 9 mana to use them all. And he realizes that and surrenders. Or suicides. And I'm off to the second round. Oh, looks like I'll get one more duel in before 11 o'clock, too. So that's gonna be nice. Okay everyone, thanks for watching and I'll see you next round. Hello everyone and welcome back to the second round of the tournament. Looks like I'm playing another green deck, which is not a surprise. Green got a lot of good toys in the 3-1 pack, so everyone is excited to try them out. A reasonable starting hand. And I'm actually gonna start with this. I might actually get value out of the Darkness Within against the green deck by getting something annoying out of defense. Okay, good. So I'm gonna play the Hound and play another Shard. I'm probably gonna use the Gemstone before I use the Darkness, because there is more chance of it being a dead card than Darkness. Green usually plays enough low drops that I can move something for value. Speaking of moving something for value, so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna play this. Get this guy to attack zone. Get 1 point of damage in. It's not amazing value, but I don't want to hold on to this forever, so might as well use it while I can. The mill could have been better, let's put it that way, but that's fine. This is the Greedy Evil that replaced my Contract with the Devil. So late game it's a 4/4 mana if you can sacrifice a dead creature, basically. And I'm just gonna block. Oh, and dual casting. Excellent. There could be an argument made for mana zoning and playing a Hiding Fire out. I think that would have been the better play, just mana zone a Doppelganger. But I don't believe it's gonna cost me the game. even though this is definitely the wrong play. I guess I didn't know I was gonna draw a third one, but still. At this position, his only way to really apply a lot of pressure is to play high drop, and hiding fire just completely neutralizes that. I mean, the fact that I'm swinging in with the Rod and Hound doesn't really matter. It's more the fact that it changes which cards he can play. Okay, so I'm gonna do Shard Zone. I think I'm just going to drop the Necromancer in this position and pass the turn. Okay, sorry about that, I just got an important phone call. Now that I've dealt with it, basically I'm setting up for a really brutal next turn. The reason I play this guy in defense so that he can't use the Elvish Bard to kill off my Necromancer or my Pale Blue Moon. If I had a Party of the Dead in hand, I might have played this guy in attack zone and just sacrificed the Pale Blue Moon. But I want an excuse to leave up 5 mana to flip my Hounds. And Pale Blue Moon provides me that excuse, basically. And yep, we're trading those guys off. Okay, so now I want 7 mana, I think. Actually, nah. Okay, so here's the dilemma. If I can play Hiding Fire, I can play nothing and just use my hero skill to kill off the Forest Spirit. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Basically, I don't want my Necromancer to die. So I'm just gonna do this. And pass the turn. Flip my 2 guys. And now, if he attacks with the Forest Spirit, I'm just gonna use my hero skill to kill it off. While it might be a bit of a waste, this guarantees that I'll be able to use my Necromancer to kill off his Elvish Spirit Caller for value. And that's fine, he played the second one, but my 2 hounds can easily deal with them. He also doesn't have mana to activate the goblin, so that's nice. He's definitely attacking with his Force Spirit if he's attacking my Pale Blue Moon. Yeah. And that still leaves me enough mana to flip my Pale Blue Moon. And I'm gonna flip that. So 7 mana, I have to spend 3 of it on Necromancer. So I think my play this turn is gonna be definitely use the Necromancer skill to kill one of those guys. Also, this is setting up for a nice Dragon of Omen. At this point, I'm just attacking like this. If he wants to sacrifice his goblin, he's welcome to do that. No, he does not wish to do so. Well, I still want to get rid of the goblin. I should have played my doppelganger before sacrificing the necromancer. That was just sloppy play. But again, I don't think it's gonna come back to haunt me. So at this point, I think I'm just gonna mana zone. I have such a massive card advantage that I'm not worried about mana zoning to make sure that I preserve a good board position. Basically, once you have a lot of extra cards in hand, you want to use those extra cards to make sure that you take over the board, because once you have board control, you can your creatures gain efficiency while your opponent's creatures lose efficiency, making it easier to maintain your board presence. Okay, so this turn what's gonna happen is I'm gonna use my Bloody Moon to deal 1, and then use my Hound to finish it off. And I'm just gonna block like this. Again, I have so many extra cards in hand that I can afford to trade off to make sure that I don't get blown out. This way, I also reset my Bloody Moon, so it flips back this turn, giving me 2 good blockers. And I'm gonna just shard, play the trap, and what do you call it? Flip my other one. Yeah, people are starting to figure out all the combos with the frozen pipes. And as I said in the set review, it's not pretty. It gives you a massive tempo swing, since it reduces the effective mana your opponent had to play before turn 3 by a lot. And yeah, I'm just gonna swing in. At this point, I have a massive card advantage in hand and board advantage, so now I need to start making sure that I apply pressure to my opponent. And trap zone. He is able to use one of his guys to kill my Dome Hound, but I'm not actually worried about that at this point. I just wanna flip my Pale Blue Moon and play my Dragon of Omen next turn, sealing his hero. He is dropping infinite 1/1s, and I'm just gonna be dropping high toughness guys, so it's all good. I'm definitely blocking like this. And at this point I don't actually care about my Skull Hound. I'm just, by blocking though, I'm guaranteeing that he's gonna have to use both of his guys to attack it. And do something sneaky. And I flip this. So I don't think I'm gonna be playing the dragon this turn, since I just drew this guy who is an amazing counter to all his silly tokens. And yes, he's gonna get another token, but that's fine. Okay, I'm gonna play this in defense zone. I'm gonna play this guy in attack zone. And I'm actually gonna mana zone this one so I can flip my Pale Blue Moon if I so desire. And I'm gonna start eating his tokens. Pale Blue Moon is flipping into Bloody Moon is probably one of the strongest things you can do against green, since unless they have some fat in play, they basically have, it's just gonna keep on killing their guys non-stop. One thing to keep in mind is with the new 3-1 set is that attacking is not as safe as it used to be if they have 4 mana up. Using the skill might be the better option. Okay. That's fine, so he gets to pump his guys up, except he's not gonna have any left at this point. Yep. So he got to use his hero skill, but again, not a big deal. Do I actually care about moving it to attack zone? I haven't decided yet, but this is an interesting option. So this guy in attack zone, this guy definitely in attack zone. He has no mana up, so I'm just gonna attack like this. I should have probably attacked him and flipped back my Bloody Moon. That was greedy. Yeah, and I'm just gonna kill this guy. Giving him the mana this turn to make sure that he has nothing to do with it. And passing the turn. So now, if he spends his turn pumping his guys, he can kill one of my Bloody Moons, which is fine. If I decide not to, of course, Conflict of Violet, just kill the guy. Okay. It's annoying that this guy got pumped, but again, it's not that big a deal. He used up his whole hand to do it. Okay, that was just a bad attack. So I'm definitely blocking like this. Basically, this way I'm guaranteed that he's not gonna kill both of my Bloody Moons. Now I'm going to block. If he attacked with a Seed of Sienna first, my Doppelganger, I would have either had to lose the Doppelganger block with Gravekeeper, which would have left him kill one of these two guys. But now that he also wasted all his mana pre-attack, I know that I want to conflict. Also, the nice thing is green buffs SP, not HP, which means that conflict just straight up kills the guys. And he is forcing one of my Bloody Moons to flip back, which is fine since it just resets. Anyways, it would have been nice if I was able to kill off both of his blockers, but not the end of the world. So he is down to 0 cards in hand. I want to flip back my Bloody Moon and reset it. I also want to destroy all his higher AP creatures because I'm planning to drop Dragon of Omen. And this guy on defense. Basically, his only real out right now is to use the Hangman, which means that I'm just gonna start flipping 3 Bloody Moons a turn and killing him off that way. And he doesn't even have a Hangman. He has to use this on his turn, which is always nice. I got a bit greedy, I should have Mana Zone so I could flip, but looks like the 3 cards that he drew weren't enough. And that's that. Pale Blue Moon is just so unfair against green. They have no good way to to kill them for value outside of their like top end, and a lot of green don't even play that much of it. Well, that was game 2, and I'll see you all for the finals. Hello and welcome back to the finals. I'm just waiting for my opponent to log in. Pretty impressive. First round he beat a level 1, which is fine, and then he took out one of the people who play the most. I'm not gonna say highest ranking because XP doesn't actually equate PvP. Some people hit that rank just having 10, 15 actual duels to their name and mostly playing raids, which is nothing wrong with, but it doesn't make them particularly good. But it does mean that at this point you have an access to a very big collection, especially if you raid a lot, since raids tend to give you more value than duels. And if you raid a lot, you can do them just as fast. Pale Blue Moon would make me feel a lot safer at this point, but that's fine. Hopefully it's not gonna be a Sylph or the one to heal himself, because that's gonna give me fits. And that's usually what Aaron White decks mean. Okay. I'm not gonna mulligan this as much as I want to. So this looks like hyper aggro-ish white. So I'm gonna shard zone. Still no. I'm just gonna play these two guys in attack zone. Worst comes to worst, I can play Necromancer in defense and then just flip. I also have a desire for wish, because if he starts dropping a lot of 1 toughness guys, so now he has a choice. Does he want to kill off one of my guys? And I don't know if he has a 1 drop. Looks like he does. Yep, that's fine. So at least this guy doesn't get extra HP, which would have been given me a lot of trouble. Okay, I think I want to start applying pressure to the aggro deck. If you can force an aggressive deck to start playing guys on defense, then you're in a very good shape. I'm not sure why he didn't just mana zone this to give courage to... Actually, that wouldn't have done anything, but... I'm not sure why he decided not to play it, and not just save for a chance to mana zone it and get in for an extra point of damage. Basically, I killed off the courage guy, so now he has a choice. Does he want to trade his guy for my hound or not? I will have to mulligan next turn, since this hand is miserable, because I need a shard and a 4 drop to basically make this hand playable. Unless, of course, he does this, in which case a shard alone will make me really happy with this hand, and I might do it without even a shard, depending on what I draw, since I'm gonna get so much value out of the desire for wish. Yep, I'm just gonna mana zone this guy. Against an aggro deck, when party of the dead can trade for like 3 of their guys effectively, and while this guy's good, he's really expensive, and by the time I can play him for value, I'm usually winning anyways. I am down to basically 3 cards in hand, but since I had to mana zone so much. But these are 3 good cards in hand. Hopefully he tries to do the whole thing again where he spews a bunch of 1 toughness guys into play. Also, this turn I can leave up my hound for flipping, since I do have a party of the dead. That's another nice thing. By completely wiping out his board presence means that I don't have to worry about playing a guy in defense, which I can't really do at this point. Excellent. I'm not gonna play that. I want to flip my hound. So attack like this. It would be nice if you played something better than a Valkyrie, but it's still a massive tempo swing, since I spent 1 mana to counter his 4 mana play when he was already behind on the board. And this guy is still worse than anything else I haven't played. And pass the turn. Some shards would be nice in this hand, but This is a very good hand if you're ahead, since I can sweep multiple blockers away and I can apply massive pressure with Party of the Dead and Necromancer. Basically, I gave up a lot of cards to gain this board position, so now it's time to use the board position to gain back all the cards I lost. Like in this case. So I'm gonna attack like this. If he is silly, he is not gonna block with the secluded wing, which he's obviously not. That's fine, I'm still fine trading 1 for 2 and getting him to basically no HP. So next turn, if he has a hangman, he can use it. But then he's just dead to my party, so I'm not gonna play anything. And if he doesn't have a hangman, I still have a party and desire for wish to finish him off. And I'm just gonna pass the turn. Also, I can use my hero skill if I really want to kill off a blocker. And also Necromancer is gonna be able to kill off any 3 toughness or less blocker to basically guarantee that my Doomhound gets in. And he realized it too. So he's gonna surrender by attacking my Necromancer. Overall, a pretty interesting game. Basically, I gave up a lot of cards early game to gain a massive board advantage, and then was able to translate that board advantage into cards, damage, and a win. Thanks everyone for watching, and hopefully I can get a couple of more of these done and uploaded relatively soon. Have a good day.